18 hard commits for 2023, the seventh ranked class in the country. You'll take that, I'm sure, if that
Oh, yeah.
holds. I'm counting 6 players basically ranked in the top 100, regardless of position, and ranked well within the top 10 at their position. He's getting the job done there, too.
He is, and to an extent that I think has surprised a lot of people, because he, in no way did he recruit at the level that he is now at UCF. I mean, the classes at UCF were, down in the 60s, the 70s at that point. And yeah, it's top 10 right now. And obviously, he's really taken a strong stance with the NIL stuff, supposedly, allegedly, $8 million to Nico Iamaleava. Just got a commitment from a 5-star Shandavian Bradley, who's a edge rusher. And just that alone, specifically with Shandavian Bradley, getting guys to buy into the defensive system is incredibly impressive to me. Another piece that I was very skeptical of, where I was like, sure, this guy can get probably anybody he wants on offense, so to speak. Anybody's going to want to come and play in an offense where they know they're going to get their hands on the football a ton. That's an amazing sell to a player. But on this defense, how are you going to sell to a player that they're going to come in, play 90 snaps a game, and get run into the ground? Like, that's a tough sell. And he's done it. They got 2 5-star, one 5-star for the 2024 class that has committed, and then the 5-star just this past couple of weeks for the 2023 class. And I go like, wow, I don't know what they're saying to him behind closed doors, but whatever they're saying, it's working. The NIL is working. The athletic department in a general sense seems healthy, which to me, specifically with this NIL stuff out there, I think that's a really good sign, because I think this NIL stuff could go way off the tracks if you don't have a good leader in your athletic department, because it's something that I think, and you've seen it in other places, it's something that can kind of be taken over by people who are sharks trying to get a piece of that pie. They see it as a money-making opportunity. They're going to come in and try to take advantage of the situation. And you got to have somebody overlooking that whole thing that is going to be mindful of that and be able to rein it in. And especially with Tennessee right now, with this NCAA investigation that is technically still ongoing, although it's kind of faded into the background, thankfully, finally. But I just think so far they're just doing a phenomenal job on the recruiting trail, better than I thought they were going to. And all credit where it's due, and especially to the guys recruiting the defense. I don't know what you're telling those kids, but I'm glad that you are telling them that and that it's working. So, it's been good so far.
Well, I guess the sales job is that if you can convince them that you can coach and develop them to get to the next level, then you say, we're a bad defense because I just got here and this is what, you don't say it this way necessarily, and maybe you do. This is what I inherited. So we're going to be better on defense. And we brought in a new staff. We've got capable defensive coaches and coordinator. We're going to be really good on defense. You can be part of this. And you know what? You can play right away.
Yeah, I'm certain that the instant playing time is a huge piece of it. I also think probably to some extent the amount of snaps they play, while it lends that defense to giving up a lot of points or kind of seeming not that great, it also gives you a ton of opportunity to pad your stats. Like I said earlier, one of the leaders in college football in tackles for loss last year, and it probably came from the fact that they play like 90 snaps a game. And so you're gonna be able to get yours in that defense, and get your name out there potentially. Obviously, Tennessee, giant brand. If you play, they will come. The NFL scouts will see, and so there is still truth incredibly. You almost wouldn't think it, but there is still truth to the fact that Tennessee does just kind of recruit itself to a certain extent. You have extravagant facilities. You have a massive, unbelievably loyal, more loyal than it probably should be, fan base that has probably given Tennessee more grace than it deserves. And all of these elements that make for an incredible elite college football program, and it still sells. With Nico Iamaleava coming in, he obviously has done a bunch of interviews about his commitment to Tennessee, and one of the things that he brings up constantly was that they took him to a Tennessee basketball game, and the entire arena chanted his name. At what schools outside of the SEC, outside of the insane, and maybe like Ohio State, what school are you ever going to get that at? And Tennessee has that. I mean, there are schools in the SEC where you wouldn't be able to get that. And it's that element that, yeah, as I said, incredibly, Tennessee does still kind of recruit itself. And while I'm fascinated by the fact that they're able to get really great defensive recruits in the door, you can still rationalize it. You can still say, at the end of the day, this actually does make sense, even though this kid could probably have an easier time at another school. Tennessee still has that great curve appeal.